affects secondary order neurons.
Lateral cord syndrome only affects second order neuron.
Yep. Hemisexual lesion, or the brown sequestered lesion, affects primary and secondary order neurons, which will be contra and ipsilateral. The lateral cord syndrome is only contralateral. So, we good with all this?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
It's the shit out of it.
So, you have your vertebra, or your spinal cord.
Yeah.
We'll just make this one the lateral cord.
Okay.
This one's your hemisectional. Or your brown sequestered. He sounds like it says square, but it's sequestered.
Brown sequestered.
Yeah, it's weird looking. But, okay. So, lateral cord syndrome. You know how your lateral cord's just right here?
Mm-hmm.
So that's exactly where your lesion's going to be. Is right there. So, the reason that it only affects contralateral side is, and only your secondary neurons is because what tract have we already done that takes 2 to 3 segments to get up?
What track have we already done? 2 through segments?
We just did it.
Oh, that's what. Okay, I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. Okay.
The one
I
that
thought
we
you were
just
saying
did.
another one other than that one.
No, that one. So if you have some pain over here, or if you have any sensory information really, it's not just pain. Like, actually,
I think I know where this
It's-
is kind of leading.
it's your pain and temperature and light touch.
Yeah, pain temperature.
So those sensations you would lose on a lateral cord syndrome 2 to 3 segments down over here. Because you have pain, so you have pain, temperature, light touch. I don't know if those are all the things or if you would have complete sensory loss. Just because it's a double check before I tell you what. No, okay. Only one that takes 2 to 3 segments to get across that I can remember is the spinal cortical tract, which is what we just did. So it's like 2, 3 below over here, and it, like your dorsal root, whatever, comes in synapses. This is going to come up and take its 2 to 3 segments to come up, and then it's going to come right through here,
Mm-hmm.
and then go straight up.
Yeah.
That's why once it gets here, nothing's getting through. And that's why it's only contralateral. And that's why it only affects your secondary order neurons. Because it's synapsing in the dorsal horn, going to the anterior commissure, and then going to the anterior or lateral portion of the lateral funiculus, and then going all the way up.
Yeah. And so a lesion of T9 would only affect the spinal segments like T6 and...
Like 7 and 6 below on the contralateral side.
Mm-hmm.
So this is left, this is right, just like we're looking at it. Say this is lesion at C5. So this is 2 to 3 down below. So that would be
2 or 3.
C7, T1, basically.
Oh, yeah. C7, T1. That's
So,
what
like, C7, T1, and below.
Mm-hmm.
They're not getting any pain, temperature, or light touch, which is a lot of, it's a lot of sensory information that you're not getting in there. So that's why it's contralateral always and always secondary order neurons. I feel like those will be TQs.
Second order neurons and contralateral.
Yeah. secondary.
Mm-hmm.
And since the spinal vertebral cord retracts the only one I know that takes 2 to 3 segments to cross, that these are the only things that go with that. Your hemisectional or your Brown squared, I'm just gonna say Brown squared because that's what he says, even though I'm not Indian. On that one, let's say this is C7. But on this one, it's the whole entire thing.
Yeah.
The whole entire side of that. So what that's going to stop from happening...
Is ipsilateral at C7 and contralateral to the 3 segments below.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so it will stop your primary order neurons coming from the ipsilateral side and secondary order neurons coming from the ipsilateral side, plus all your secondary order neurons coming 2 to 3 segments below.
Mm-hmm.
So like T2, T3.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Cool. That, I mean, that's really as easy as it is.
Yeah,
And this is one thing they said. He said loss of pain sensation at the level of the lesion on the ipsilateral side of the lesion and contralateral 2 to 3 segments below, and decrease in sensory sensation. Is a what is that? That's a hemisectional Brown square lesion.
Sounds easy enough.
Yeah, that one's really not hard.